been looking at them in awe, gushing over them.
Truly dazzling.
Look at this thing. Isn't it beautiful? The clearest image of the so-called cartwheel galaxy.
NASA scientists are saying they're even better than what they had hoped for. They're stunning.
Yeah, they knew they would be good. They just did not know that they would be this good.
Each one is better than the last.
Even if we're not quite sure we understand what these gorgeous Webb telescope images are actually showing.
You can't see infrared.
Okay.
But the color you would see if your eyes could see infrared. So it's authentic and legit.
I mean, it's almost too much to even comprehend.
I mean, it looks like a painting. I mean, it looks like abstract artwork.
It looked like a painting with all the colors and dragon in the foreground.
I felt I was going into a gallery. This is an art piece, this thing.
It almost looks like Star Wars. Like when you watch it, it looks like it's something out of a science fiction film.
It looks absolutely unreal and animated.
Like R2-D2 coming out of the payload bay.
I think it looks so ridiculous and impossible.
It was almost like something out of a film or out of something that someone had created graphically.
These are cosmic sculptures.
With an untrained eye, this is a rat speck.
Those aren't little dots of light in the sky. Those are real bodies. They're interesting places out there.
Blobs of light, and now they are real objects.
The detail you see is going to be real.
And they're real.
That shows you that really is the Earth's limb.
This is real, what's happening.
You can tell it's real because it looks so fake, honestly.
It almost looks fake.
And we'd like to compliment NASA on the orbiter model that they got for us to take these pictures.
This thing really does have a Star Wars effect. More Star Warsy than Star Wars, I think.
And no, it is not a model. We saw it with our own eyes, and that's what it was.
It feels very, very real. That's what you're after here.
So when we're in that capsule waiting for launch, we're just running our procedures.
You could almost, trick us.
Say that we were in the simulator and it wasn't real.
And we knew that it wasn't a simulator anymore. This is the real thing.
Simulations seem as real as the mission.
I promise we are not playing a trick on you. This is real. It is science. It is rocket science.
We feel like they're real.
We're moving 6 times faster than we would in the real world.
We get accused of doing this in a hangar someplace in Texas, and so that last sequence with the disc was our proof that this was on board the orbiter in a micro-G environment.
Natural position that the body kind of assumes with the hands and the arms out extended out in front of you, and that's real.
Space is real.
So you can convince yourself that you see what's in these galaxies.
So I think there's a good bridge here to make between science and art.
To transform into something real.
The views of our blue marble in the blackness of space, now capturing the imagination now capturing the imagination of a new generation.
Really captures people's imagination. Just capture my imagination every time. It's hard to even imagine that that's true. Makes it seem a little bit easier to imagine. I could barely imagine.
I just cannot even imagine.
You almost couldn't believe that it was happening.
What it takes to imagine, much less attempt a mission this ambitious.
Kind of blows my mind. Almost hard to wrap your head around. A little unbelievable to me.
This is a new era of the unbelievable.
Discoveries that were miracles a few short years ago are accepted as commonplace today. Many of the things that seem impossible now will become realities tomorrow.
Crossroads of science fiction and reality.
I'm still having a hard time believing this is real.
We're gonna go do this, and it's impossible, but we did it.
Once unthinkable, they're now on the cusp of doing the seemingly impossible.
The space agency is saying this will never be done. It's not possible to land the first stage. And they did it.
Smart people figured out how to make all that work, and that's amazing to me that we have people in our country that know how to do that.
The impossible comes possible.
The way they could fix it over 1 billion miles, nothing but radio waves, was truly remarkable. Truly remarkable.
No aerodynamic or aerothermal test facility can recreate the conditions that we will see.
Something that could never be accomplished in a laboratory here on Earth.
Power is on the order of about 1/20 billionth the amount of power required to power my digital watch.
The accuracy required to reach this remote planet has been compared to a golfer sinking a putt 1,000 miles away.
It's kind of incredible to think that vehicle lifts off on top of a bunch of rocket engines, pushing it out into space. You do all that stuff, and then it comes back in and it lands like this, like an airplane. Unbelievable.
I don't know where we got all the people that knew how to make that work, but we do.
Making the impossible possible.
They were so excited. Their faces, it was amazing.
I've seen a group of people more excited, like freaked out excited, like the looks in those people's eyes.
Oh my God! Oh my God! It's going!
Not everybody can be a robot polisher.
You think that's a hit in elementary schools? Look how their eyes get big when you start talking about space.
And that becomes the only reality.
Those little minds